Hi guys, this is Mrs. Hain, and I'm going to be reading your science test to you today. Remember to listen to the entire question and all of the answers before you pick your answer. And this assessment has been modified a little bit, so make sure you're paying attention. Some of the options have been reduced. So question number 1. Which of the following can cause a change in the greenhouse gas concentration in the atmosphere? A, human activities, B, natural processes, or C, both human activities and natural processes. And remember, you can hit pause after every question if you need time to answer. You can also go back and re-listen to a question if you need to. Number 2, which of the following is true about the effects of greenhouse gases? A, greenhouse gases protect the Earth from UV radiation. B, greenhouse gases reduce the thermal energy that escapes into space. Or C, greenhouse gases cause holes in the ozone layer. Number 3, if the gases in the Earth's atmosphere did not create a natural greenhouse effect, the average temperature on Earth would be A, warmer, B, colder, or C, about the same. Number 4, which of the following is not a likely effect of the current trends in climate change? A, decreased ice coverage in the Great Lakes and oceans. B, more rainfall in some regions. C, more severe weather events. Or D, decreased sea levels. Number 5, 2 new planets were recently discovered. Each planet orbits a different star. In many ways, both the planets and the stars are very similar. Both planets are about the same size. Both planets are about the same distance from their star. Both stars are about the same surface temperature, and both stars are about the same brightness. However, astronomers also have evidence that shows that the atmospheres of the 2 planets are different. Planet A has a thin atmosphere with little carbon dioxide or methane. Planet B has a dense atmosphere that is high in carbon dioxide and methane. Using only the information provided above, make a claim as to which planet is likely to be warmer on average. Then complete your scientific explanation by supporting your claim with evidence and reasoning. So the claim has been filled in for you. It says planet B is likely to be warmer because it has more greenhouse gases in its atmosphere. You need to fill in your evidence and your reasoning. Right now would be a good time to pause so that you can think about your answer and fill it in. Part B to the same question. Astronomers have evidence that volcanic activity on planet A has recently become very high and is still increasing. Which of the following predictions is the most likely effect of this activity on the atmosphere and temperatures of planet A? 3, particulate matters in the atmosphere will increase, causing temperatures to decrease. Or 4, particulate matter in the atmosphere will decrease, causing temperature to increase. Okay, with the same information, question C. Describe how you used the information about planet A to choose your answer in part B. Volcanic activity can blank the amount of particulate matter in the planet's atmosphere. If the amount of particulate matter blank, then the temperature will blank because of what? Question 6. Which of the following is not likely to cause a change in average annual temperatures on Earth? A, human activity. B, solar eclipses, C, photosynthesis by plants and algae, or D, strength of solar radiation. So which one is not likely to cause change in the average annual temperature on Earth? Number 7, of the choices below, which would cause a reduction in greenhouse gas emissions? B, use less electricity at home, C, eat fewer locally grown products, or D, change more forests into fast-growing food crops? Which would cause a reduction in greenhouse gas emissions? Number 8, scientists are researching a new gas called HNOC that is released into the atmosphere when manufacturing smartphones. The concentration of this gas in the atmosphere has recently been increasing rapidly, as shown in the figure below. So if you look at the graph, it says global concentrations at the top in parts per trillion, and then the year on the bottom. And if you look, the graph starts in 1992, and it gradually goes up to 2008, and then it spikes between 2008 and 2016. It spikes greatly. Scientists are concerned that this new gas might be contributing to increases in global temperatures. Write a question that would help clarify the evidence for whether the HNOC could be causing changes in global temperature. Number 9. Scientists predict that changes in temperatures can cause a change in the activities of plants and animals, such as when plants flower in the spring. Figure A, or Graph A, shows the yearly spring temperature in Asia compared to average spring temperatures. Negative values show that spring was cooler than average. Positive values show that spring was warmer than average. The dark diagonal line shows the trend in the spring temperatures. Figure B, or Graph B, shows the average date that cherry trees in Japan have flowered each year. Higher values mean that the cherry trees bloomed earlier in the spring. Lower values mean that the cherry trees bloomed later in the spring. So, question A. Do these figures provide evidence that support the prediction of the scientists? Describe how you used information from the figures to determine your answer. So we're already telling you that yes, the figures provide evidence that support the predictions of the scientists, and you have to say why. So yes, because. And right now would be a good time to pause so that you could think about your answer and then write it out. B, describe at least 2 other changes to ecosystems that could occur if average temperatures are increasing. So again, right here would be a good time to pause if you need to. Question 10. Examine the trends in the per person fossil fuel use, which is graph or figure 1, population, which is figure 2, and CO2 emissions in country A and B over the same period, which is graph 3. You're going to use those 3 graphs to answer the following questions. Figure 3 shows that carbon dioxide, or CO2 emissions, increased in both countries from 1985 to 2005. Based only on the data in the figures, make a claim about what caused the increase in carbon dioxide emissions. So you might need to use one of the other graphs to help you answer that. The increase in carbon dioxide emissions in figure 3 was caused by 1, the increased per person fossil fuel use, 2, increased human population size, or 3, both increased per person fossil fuel use and increased human population size. B, complete your scientific explanation by supporting your claim with evidence and reasoning. So here you would put your evidence and your reasoning to the claim above. So if you said that it was 1, increased per person fossil fuel, what would your evidence and reasoning be? If you said 2, increased human population size, what's your evidence and reasoning? And if you said 3, both the per person fossil fuel use and the population size, what's your evidence and reasoning? Make sure you use information from the graphs above. And hit pause here if you need to. 11. As the concentration of greenhouse gases in the Earth's atmosphere increase, the average temperature on Earth does what? A, increases, B, decreases, or C, is not changed.